I mean, it's Cooper Rush worth 2.5 points. I would hope Quinn Ewers put up a decent stat line against Arizona State. If he didn't, we have a real problem.
You can say the same thing about Creighton. Okay, they had the one good game against Kansas at home.
When Toast talks about the kicking market, it's like some earth is flat shit. Andy, true or false, this is going to be a dog walking.
Dog walking. This is my dog walking of the day. I think it's going to be very ugly. Dog walking. I think this is going to be ugly.
Hey, get this sword.
Good morning, everybody. Just me and Trevor this morning. I know we're a little bit late, so we're going to do some rapid fire. Trevor, how are you this morning?
Oh, fantastic. It's a beautiful slate today.
It is. Can't wait for some of this stuff. All right, let's get it cooking. Vandy on the road in Georgia. Georgia, one of the hottest teams in the SEC right now. Vandy coming off a huge loss. Where are you at in this one?
I didn't bet it. I like Vandy. I know Georgia's been hot, but we're laying 5.5 points with them. And you know the number 5.5, absolutely no go. So I'll take Vandy. I'm not going to bet this though.
Yeah, and I'm kind of the opposite. But same type of sentiment. I want to play on Georgia, but do I want to lay 5.5? Has nothing to do with the 5.5 number. I know that's voodoo, but this team I'm usually getting Georgia at a plus price or nearly a pick 'em, not laying over 2 full possessions and whatnot. So both those they have 2 really solid road wins, but this Vanderbilt team's coming off an embarrassing loss against Arkansas. I honestly think this game could be an absolute coin flip. So if you are taking the dog, I would sprinkle the money line as well because I think whoever wins, if they're going to win, they're probably going to win and cover. So next game up. So big one. St. John's on the road in Marquette. Marquette kind of in like a desperate spot. St. John's, the Big East Conference champions now. Where do you fly on this one? I got 2 bets in this game. I played the over 140. What's the number? 142.5. And I also played Marquette on the money line at minus 135. So I know that everybody's in love with St. John's, but this is like the best spot you could possibly get Marquette, needing a win at home against St. John's off of a loss against UConn, where they probably should have been able to win that game, but they kind of faulted down the stretch. So I'm on Marquette in the over.
Yeah, I would take Marquette. I don't want to lay points with Marquette. I know St. John's has really nothing to play for. They've got it locked up, the Big East and all that other shit. But Marquette this team has just been broken, for majority of the year. Like they don't. There's not like Cam Jones hasn't even been that good. Like they don't have a good identity. You don't really know what to expect from this team. If you're betting Marquette, you're basically just fading St. John's that they have nothing to play for. I want no part of it.
Correct. Screw St. John's. They're like the one team that I'm starting to really dislike. And I love Coach Pitino, but the Letterman's jackets, the BS on David Letterman or whatever the goddamn show is, I don't care. It's all ridiculous.
On? No, you're back on now. They're very unlikable, and
yeah.
Around here, I grew up. My dad was a big St. John's fan. Like I should be fired up for St. John's, New York, but for some reason, this is just not a likable team. Like I was rooting for Seton Hall to beat them.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, it's just too much for me personally. And I love college basketball and I love Rick Pitino, but it's just so much. Anyway, Beaver, next game.
They lack authentic aura. I'll tell you that.
Dude, they're gonna get bounced in the round of 32 because they can't shoot, and everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, what happened? Oh, where's my Letterman's jacket?" Kentucky on the road at Missouri. As much as I love the Avengers, there's not a chance in hell I'm gonna bet them on the road against Missouri off of 2 straight losses here. So you can put Missouri up for me. Probably not going to bet it. Don't mind an over either. Kind of got scared off the over because we've seen Kentucky really play shitty on the road at times, and I just don't want to get involved with it. So, but their defense should allow it to be over. So I would say over or pass, but it's just a lean for me.
Yeah, I played Missouri here. Their average home margin this season is 20.1 points. I know that factors in a little bit of the non-con, but still, at home, they smash people, just beat South Carolina by 30, Bama by 12, Oklahoma by 24, whatever the hell. They just smoke teams. And then, like you said, they're off of back-to-back losses. Kentucky plays no defense, no Jackson Robinson. I think this is a Mizzou just smash spot. So I laid the 5.5 last night. It's up to 6.5. I think you could honestly probably lay it at 6.5 too, no problem. 7.5.
I think that if Missouri wins, they probably win by 10 plus, and you're not really sweating this. The only reason that I didn't play the over is because it was like at 170, 169, and just felt like really high. And if Kentucky wasn't all the way on, or they had a bad night, Mizzou might get me there, but Kentucky would probably kill me. So, and I ended up passing. So,
Big Cat is on the over. He's 14-0 in March. So just a little food for thought.
Good for him. Good for him. It's up to 171 in some books too, so it's still moving a little bit. So I'm sure you can find a 169 if you really wanted to.
I'm seeing that there is an issue with the graphic total here. Was in a bit of a rush getting this the graphics up. I'm sorry, folks, if there was a bit of an issue. I was off by 40. Okay, sorry.
I was gonna say, put your 401k on over 131.
That'd be free.
I am not booking action on 141. No, Kyle.
Mississippi State on the road at Arkansas. Kind of curious where you're at on this one, Trevor, because we know that Arkansas at home has kind of been a bet on team for the most part, but they're coming off a really, really big win against Vanderbilt on the road, and now they're facing a Mississippi State team that is on the road, obviously, but hasn't looked great on the road, but they're in quite of a desperate spot after losing 2 games in a row. Where do you fall on this one?
Yeah, you know where I fall. Give me the Hogs. Plural, not singular. Give me the Hogs. Yeah, I got them +1 last night. They opened as a favorite, flipped over to a dog. I grabbed the point. Now they're back to like -1.5, -2. So I like them to get a big win here. They need this game too. They're sitting right there on like the last 4 in, first 4 out, somewhere around there. So this is a must-have game. I'll take Arkansas at home to end the season with a win and going into the conference tournament feeling good.
Yep, couldn't agree more. Arkansas as well. These two teams played earlier at Mississippi State. It was a 4-point game. I think that Mississippi State has kind of really fallen off. They just really haven't looked good. I know that they have a couple wins against Mississippi and Texas A&M, but honestly, I feel like Oklahoma broke them. I think they went on the road to Oklahoma, got their asses kicked, and they really haven't recovered. So I know that they got a win against LSU, but LSU is absolutely terrible. So I think this is a really good spot for Arkansas team who has been playing much better. They had one bad game against South Carolina on the road, but besides that, they've been pretty much flawless for 2.5-3 weeks now. So only losing to Auburn on the road and Texas A&M. So again, I just think that Arkansas is probably a little bit better team and playing much better basketball right now. So next game up.
All right. The whole total saying they may be messed up for all the games. I'm going to actively try to put up the text that is correct for all the games, but you gotta we're going to roll with the punches, folks. Relax.
Fair. Trevor, you can take it away. It's buckyball.
Yeah. Wisconsin, really hot at home. They're like 14-2 against the spread, somewhere around there this year. They mow teams, but their offense has looked a little suspect lately. Minnesota and who was the last game? I forget the last game, but they haven't looked incredible offensively. Their threes aren't falling, and that could be a serious issue. But for them, Penn State doesn't play much defense. They have Wisconsin's got 6 seniors: Tanji, Crowell, McGee, and Klesmit are the starters. You got Ivor and another guy too. So some significant pieces for the offense. Senior day versus a team that's Penn State's got nothing to lose. They might be on a mission to just win. Give somebody a game here and end the season with a win here. This is their final game. They're not in the conference tournament, so I would. I would probably take Penn State, but I'm not going to bet it. I just haven't been impressed with this Wisconsin offense as of late, and Penn State's been playing a little feisty. So I'll take Penn State. Absolutely no bet.
Yeah, I will be on Penn State. I actually did bet it as well. Don't care if they're really a public dog or anything like that. But honestly, I've said about 2.5 weeks ago with this Penn State team, and I think they've cashed 4 or 5 in a row for me. This is just one of the older teams in the country. A lot of these guys, this is going to be their last, or for now, and now finally, I've been saying this for the last few games, but now this is going to be their last game they ever play in college. As Trevor said, they don't have a chance to go to the Big Ten tournament or whatnot. So this is the last game they're going to get. So again, has Wisconsin been extremely good? Yes. But has their offense started to slow down a little bit? Yes. So do I think Wisconsin probably wins? Probably. But I don't think they win by 20 or whatever it was when these two teams played earlier in the season. I'm sorry. Penn State beat them, actually. Never mind. So, but regardless, I think that Penn State plays really well here today. So I took the 10.5 or 11 points. It came down for sure. So Next game up, man, this game's kind of hard. Iowa State. I don't know what to think of this team right now. Like, I'm kind of curious on your thoughts because I feel like that Arizona win was kind of fugazi the way that they've played. I get that BYU is a decent basketball team, but to lose that game outright, I don't really know. And now you're going to go on the road in the Octagon of Doom against a team that had like 3 bad road games and everybody wanted to throw the towel out on them. I don't know. I lean Kansas State, but I'm not in love with it.
I bet Kansas State here.
All right.
Iowa State on the road lost 4 of their last 5. Their win was UCF, a team that plays no defense. I'm not saying Kansas State's an elite defensive unit or offensive unit, but at home, Octagon of Doom, senior day, you get a big dog in Iowa State coming in here, who's looked very bad on the road. This is only a 6.5 point spread. I took Kansas State here. I wouldn't be shocked if they won the game, to be honest. Iowa State's just kind of been a broken team as of late. So I'll take the 6.5 here, and I'll fade Iowa State one more time. On the road, just this team is not been good ever since they got sick and whatever. They've kind of just started tanking a little bit. So give me the Wildcats.
Yeah, Kansas State as well for me. The only reason I hadn't bet it last night is I didn't know what the number would be this morning. I wanted to see, but I've been kind of sitting on the same. Like, I don't know if Iowa State's really good, and the only reason I say not good, they're a decent basketball team, but at the same time, they've been talked about all year like a shoe-in to the Final Four and whatnot, and that's just one thing I haven't really understood. And to be dead honest with you guys, every time that they've jumped up in competition in Big 12 play, they really haven't looked good. Their Big 12 conference wins are like UCF, Arizona State, TCU, Cincinnati, Colorado. The Arizona State looks really, really good, and then the Texas Tech game looks really, really good. But that game went to overtime. So besides that, every time that they've faced other good teams in this conference, they really haven't looked great. And now, again, I'm not trying to make a case that Kansas State is some world banger in this conference, but at the same time, since the middle of January, this team has lost 4 games in a row. They took their 2 games that were in the mountain trip. Then they came home and lost a game to Arizona State, and then they lost a game to UCF. But besides that, they've been playing really good basketball right now. I personally kind of throw out the mountain trip. It is what it is. So I think I have a team that at home in Kansas State that's playing a lot better basketball. I think they're live as well. I played them on the money line as well. Next game up, Tennessee, South Carolina.
All right, we got Kyle
hold on.
here.
Why is this line 14.5 when Tennessee isn't playing for shit?
Hold on. Let me see.
South Carolina on the road, I think, is lost by double digits.
No, but look at this. Tennessee's locked into the 4 seed. They beat Texas A&M. They beat Missouri. They can't lose the 4 seed, right?
I played Tennessee at 15.5. So, dog walk of the day, boys. Dog walk of the day.
What? They're not playing for anything.
They just got their asses beat on the road at Mississippi, and now they're going to come home. Rick Barnes doesn't play those games, so they are about to slaughter this
in a meaningless game. South Carolina playing for pride.
I don't think that. Yes, they can use all the pride in the world. They could have a whole pride. I don't think it's going to matter.
Wow! Call it June. Call it June, folks.
Just saying, they can have them all out there. Doesn't matter.
I think Tennessee could half-ass this and score 65 points. I still think they can cover this game. This South Carolina team on the road is absolutely horrible. They've lost by double digits every single time. Let's look at real quick. South Carolina on the road. I can't even find this, but I know I'm just looking.
I can do it really quick. I can do it for you really quick. All Missouri by 30, LSU by 14, Florida by 21, Kentucky carry the 23, Georgia 11, Oklahoma 20, Vanderbilt 3. That's the one. Mississippi State 35. Those are your values.
Yeah. So they get smoked on the road. Tennessee off a loss. You fade Rick Barnes in the NCAA tournament. You don't fade him, at home in the regular season and in conference tournament. So I would be on Tennessee, but I did not bet this game. Maybe even a South Carolina team total under, to be honest.
Also, I think if Tennessee were to lose, I don't think they're going to, and Missouri wins, they would lose that 4th seed. I'm not positive, though. I can't remember.
Tennessee has to lose.
Yeah. So there is a little. I mean, I don't really think it matters 4 and 5 seed, but we'll see.
Kyle, just wanted to give you a shout out. A humble and gentle Mexican says that you are one of the great Mexican icons in the industry. How do you feel about that? Didn't know you were Mexican, actually, Kyle.
Well, it's not that I myself is Mexican. It's just I connect with that community.
Okay.
Like most communities. South Carolina's the play here, though. Pride Parade incoming.
Pride Parade. Get the flags out, folks.
Get your tickets out, guys. They're selling fast. All right, next game on the board. Everybody's favorite Seton Hall versus everybody's favorite UConn. Absolute pass for me. Want nothing to do with this. Should UConn kill them? Yes. But do I trust UConn to kill anybody? Absolutely not. So you can put Seton Hall up for me. Not betting this game.
Yeah, I want to bet Seton Hall pretty bad. You guys know I'm addicted to betting this team, but I did not get there. They should lose this game by like 11, 12 points. I mean, they don't give up. UConn has struggled with this team historically over the last like 6 years or so, 5, 6 years. Like they lose every time they go to Jersey. Seton Hall always gives them, a fairly tight game, within like 10 to 12 points at home. UConn already lost to this team. I'm not really sure how much they give a shit to blow them out. And 18 points, well, it's 16 and a half now. That's a respectable line.
I think you're just frozen toast.
Yeah, I see everybody moving. But I would take Seton Hall or nothing, but I did not bet this game. I think Shaheen and the boys get up, and they always play UConn tight. So it would be Seton Hall or nothing for me.
Full transparency, I think late night I bet UConn. It is what it is.
UConn, Seton Hall is a fade, dude. That St. John's game was their Super Bowl. There's no reason to bet Seton Hall. Don't do it, guys.
I agree with that. Next game up, man.
Tied.
Pretty much. Really? Okay.
Absolutely. I mean, this Auburn at home thing is a mirage. It's some shit that it's months ago. It's last year.
How'd that work out the last time you said that?
Okay, they covered a game at home. What are we going to do? Throw them a Pride Parade?
I mean, if they're already in town, might as well.
Alabama's the play here. 7.5 is crazy. These are the two best teams in the conference. This number should be 4.5. Recency bias moving this. I'm betting this tied. Go ahead. Go pick Auburn, both of you.
First of all, I have a system that's never lost, so I don't have to worry about picking a side.
System.
That's just first and foremost. But go ahead, Trevor. You can go first in this big matchup.
Yeah, looking at splits here, everybody loves Alabama. Auburn's got nothing to play for. Alabama's going to get revenge for blowing that Tennessee game for the SEC title. No, Auburn off of a loss at home. Alabama plays no defense. Alabama's fugazi as fuck. I hate this team. They can't cover. They're Trevor, terrible.
Why don't you like 3-point shooting?
It's so
like every
very
team that can shoot the 3 ball, you have a true strong hatred for.
Is that true? He hates 3-point shooting teams?
Oh, dude, he hates Alabama. He hates Kentucky. All those teams that love Bradley, all those teams, he's just a hater.
He's a traditional.
I love Bradley.
Well, how deep does it go? Do you also hate Steph Curry?
Ooh.
Do you just hate the art of the 3-point shot?
Was awesome. I don't care about the NBA. I don't remember the last time I watched this.
So it's not, you don't blindly hate 3-point shooting.
No, it's mainly just some of these blue blood teams that are full of themselves that fucking suck. But I like Auburn here. They're off of a loss. They're going to prove to Alabama that they deserve to win it, and they didn't just get lucky off of Alabama blowing that fucking Tennessee game. So I'll take Auburn here. I did not bet this game today, though.
Alabama off a loss. Set it and forget it. Alabama team total over 85.5. Again, this team yeah. So I mean, I again, don't worry about picking a side. Just pick Alabama off of a loss.
Wait, that literally has never lost. Literally has never lost, right?
Correct. Yeah, I'm not kidding when I said that. Yeah,
so they're like after every loss, they're perfect. 7-0 to their team total overcoming off a loss.
Whatever. Same difference. Yeah.
Wow.
And now you get a Bama team that plays no defense and just shoots threes, so long runouts. Yeah.
And let's just say,
I'm actually add it. I'll ride with you.
Someone in the comments goes, Trevor hates those city slickers.
Wait, so what was that toast? It was Auburn.
Alabama team total over 85.5.
Bama. Okay.
It's all right. You can just move on to the next one. I mean,
oh, okay.
Everyone that watches knows Toast is betting that. They don't need to see it on the screen.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know it was a known
He's been
thing.
doing it all year blind.
Wait, did you say Alabama or Auburn?
Alabama.
Alabama team total over.
Never mind. I'm out. I thought you said Auburn. I was like,
It's
85
okay,
and a
Trevor.
half?
I don't need your love.
I'm out.
I love myself. Ohio State at Indiana. One of the hottest teams in college basketball right now. I mean, I guess they did lose to Oregon, but I mean, they've been playing really good basketball over the last couple of weeks. I got to give them credit. That's for sure. Where are you at in this game? Because I really want to take Ohio State, but they're just not a team I really trust on the road. And they're coming off a solid road win on the West Coast against USC, then a double overtime winner against Nebraska. I don't know. I just feel like this number is very, very short. It's like they're begging you to take Indiana.
Yeah, that's kind of where I am. If I like Indiana, I think you play it on the money line. I honestly think this game comes down to like 1 to 3 points. I really do. I think this is gonna be a tight game. So I like Indiana on the money line. They need this game. Ohio State needs this game too. But you get Indiana at Assembly Hall, must-have game. And like you said, you got Ohio State off that double OT game against Nebraska. So I'll take Indiana money line. Don't bet the spread, in my opinion. This is gonna come down to the last possession.
And to Trevor's point about the last possession, the last 3 times these two teams played, the margin victory has been 6, 3, and 1. So it's not. I know last year doesn't really mean this much this year, but just to give you guys an idea, when these two teams have played the last few times, it's been always very, very close. So just really hard to love anything in this one. Next game up, Beef.
Alrighty.
I think somebody's gonna lose. Not you, Trevor. I like your play in this one. I just saw it actually on Twitter.
Beautiful.
I'm just saying, this Texas A&M team has gotten so much love, and I don't really know like what is the last. I guess the Auburn win was really good, but I personally just throw that Auburn win out. It was like the ultimate get up spot for them. I mean, Trevor, you can go ahead because I know you're probably going to say all this stuff and you've already made this play. So go ahead.
Yeah, I love LSU here. Feisty at home. A&M off of I believe it was their first ever #1 victory over #1 in school history. I'm pretty positive. They just retired Wade Taylor's jersey. For what reason? I don't know. But they retired his jersey on senior. Okay, he comes back next year, you retire. But you retire an active player on senior night? That's fucking weird.
That's stupid.
I like LSU here. I think they win. I might hit the money line. LSU is just feisty at home, get up spot. A&M off of Auburn. They hit the road, and they're laying like 7.5 points. Like that's crazy. I know they can rebound and all that other shit, but this is the ultimate letdown spot for a Texas A&M team. So give me LSU here.
Feisty.
Feisty.
The only thing I want to add to that is this is a pretty significant step down in clash for an LSU team that's just got done playing Florida, Tennessee, Kentucky, and Mississippi State. Mississippi State's the only team that you can kind of argue with me about. But besides that, the other 3 teams that I've mentioned are pretty much significantly better than Texas A&M. So at home with a little bit of a step down in class against the LSU team that is feisty, as the kids say. I'll be taking USU for sure.
Feistiest team in the conference. It's not even close. I mean, you turn on the TV and it's like, holy shit, this team is feisty.
They ooze feistiness.
Love it.
Somebody asked in the comments if we're covering Duke UNC. Definitely should be. I remember rendering that game, so should be coming up.
So the plan was at the end, because we have graphics set up for like 19 games, but there's like 60 today. So I figured at the end, when we run out of graphics, we'll just have Toast and Trevor do like a rapid fire, like, here are other picks I'm on, and just read off like 7.
Yeah.
If you've been watching this show, you know exactly where I'm at in that UNC Duke game. I've been saying it for 2 weeks now. So here's another dog walking. Providence on the road at Xavier. Yeah, you can just throw the X up. This should be about a 20-point game here. I hate to say this because Sean Miller I still think he is an absolutely terrible coach. They're one of the hottest teams in the country, and I honestly think that they could be a Sweet 16 type of team. I mean, this team has everything that you could possibly want from a basketball team. They can shoot the 3-ball well. They shoot their free throws well. They can play with pace. They can slow down. They're freaking tall. They can rebound. There's a lot of things to like about this Xavier team. So yeah, I don't understand what's the number, 10.5, whatever it is. I don't really care. They're going to win by 15 plus.
Trevor, have you seen the Dude, the entire state of Rhode Island hates Moneyline Mac, and it's hilarious on Twitter.
It is
Oh my gosh, they're so funny. Somehow the Providence fans are worse than their basketball team.
Dude,
that's impressive.
Dude,
there's like so many of them. He's
bad.
like fighting like 60 of them on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
He's
last year, I picked against Providence, and because the Padres say Friars in it, this guy like went off like, "You're not a real Friars fan," and I'm like, "Bro, that's baseball. Like, what are you talking about?"
we're in July, dude.
That's a rock bottom
what-
hill to stand on.
Like,
Dude.
wow. Anyway, Trevor, go ahead.
Moneyline Mac is like that meme where the guy draws his sword and the entire army's rushing at him. That's Mac on Twitter every single fucking day against these freaking weird ass Providence fans. But yeah, fuck you, Providence. You're not at home. You also suck. Your coach sucks. X gonna give it to you today. This is Xavier by 20. They have something to play for. Providence. Kim English doesn't even look fucking like he wants to be on the sidelines of these games. This is Xavier by a million.
Kim English has 2 seasons of below 500 basketball, 2 mediocre seasons, and they act like this guy's the next coming of Roy Williams. It is an absolute joke. So you can at me on Twitter, Providence fans. I'll die on that hill. Next game, Beaver.
Ed Cooley's still your daddy.
Yeah.
Easy. This is easy.
I know, but I feel like they want us to do it. That's the only issue. So, Arizona.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. Good man. Everyone's going to be on
Trevor,
Kansas.
I'm not dumb. I'm not a dummy. I haven't let this Hawaii sun get to me. I get it. It's just, you guys, it's just plain for me. Kansas hasn't been good at home. I mean, Kansas hasn't been good point blank period, but they haven't been good at home. And as Trevor's about to tell you, who they just played, they're going to be a little bit sore here today. I think Arizona wins this game. I think this is an absolute joke that this game is over 3. Like, if you want to put Kansas at 2.5 because of the fog and all the bullshit and all the, like, okay, fine. I'm not going to argue with you. But 4.5, I understand that this has been bet up a little bit, but 4.5, that's just crazy to me. So I know that Arizona hasn't been like as dominant the last couple weeks, but you can really kind of nitpick some of that. I mean, the Kansas State loss in the Octagon of Doom, they barely lost that game. Then they go and they lose to Houston. Again, everybody loses to Houston. They lose to BYU by 1, and then they have one bad game where Iowa State finally found some magic at Hilton, and they ended up getting blown out. But besides that, Arizona's been fine. You can go Trevor. I'm just scrambling at this
I
point.
gotta say, I'm a little worried here. Why is Kansas laying 4.5? We're polling at like 90% Arizona. It's gonna be the most
I know,
public.
that's the only thing that I don't see it. But the thing is that I see a lot of Kansas love out there, so it could be public.
Where?
I don't
Where are you
really
hanging
know.
out where you're seeing this Kansas love? Because I'm seeing none of
Twitter.
it. I don't think there's any Kansas love on Twitter, dude. You have a very weird news feed.
This is true. I will not argue that.
Splits me nothing.
Trevor,
but,
how about this? I know Trevor's probably done like 3 shows in the last 16 hours. Trevor, are there anybody that you would consider a sharp college basketball person on Kansas here?
I know people on both sides. Like, I get it. Like, it's weird. Kansas is laying 4.5. They haven't looked good. Bill Self putting out those love letters to fans about why they suck. They're trying their best. So, we'll get it right. I don't give a shit. When you got Hunter Dickinson, Zeke Mayo, AJ Storr, and then a DeJuan Harris who's overrated, it's just a bad team. Arizona, much better. If you're betting Kansas, you're betting Self writing those letters, and then you're betting Fog Allen. They're not good this year. This team's like an absolute cancer with Dickinson on the team. Storr does nothing. Zeke Mayo's horrible. This team sucks. I'll take Arizona. I'll fade Fog Allen. And I'm just looking at these splits on VSiN. We got 86% of the money on Kansas spread and 67% of the money on Moneyline. There is going to be an ungodly amount of Moneyline parlay tickets that include Kansas today because they're not going to lose at home. Yeah, bullshit. I like Arizona here.
Agreed. Not to mention, Kansas is, after playing Texas Tech and Houston, I really don't like that spot for them. So
And off Houston. Thank you. I didn't even mention that part.
I didn't say it because I figured you were going to.
Guys,
That's your thing.
just letting you know, we are officially 20 minutes till tip off. But all
right.
So, I mean, you're actually not going at a bad pace, though.
Butler, Creighton. This one's really simple for me. I just think that Butler's dead. I think that they were somewhat competent, and then Xavier just killed them, and now they're on the road against a Creighton team that needs more wins. It's Creighton or pass for me.
Yeah, Creighton or pass. I'm not betting. Excuse me, betting this game. I bet Butler last game, and they fucking killed me. So I'm back off Butler again.
Yeah.
All right.
He's on a Butler free diet.
Dude, I hate Butler. This team.
Dude, you can't trust a Thad Matta coach team. Ole Miss on the road at Florida. Trevor, what say you?
I like Florida here. I mean, it's just simple. Like, fading Florida has not been profitable. It hasn't been sharp. Maybe they don't cover today because they really have nothing to play for. Cool, but I'm not going to step in front of Florida, especially at home. No, thank you.
What is this line? Ole Miss was catching a smaller number at Auburn. Is Ole Miss injured or something?
This is true. This is.
Ole Miss was just in Auburn catching a smaller number than this.
No,
they were 2.5. Sure. They were 2.5 a month and a half ago when these two teams played. This is like a 10-point move from the last time.
So what's going on? Who's that?
Matthew Morrell, undisclosed, questionable for Saturday's game. That was 14 hours.
I think he's like a guard. He's like a senior, but he doesn't even start, does he? All right, touche.
He plays 30-some minutes a game. I mean, yeah, he doesn't really do much. 12, 10, 12, 2, 6, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. He doesn't.
Ole Miss is the play here. I might sprinkle money on.
Why step in front of Florida?
I don't need luck. I'm nice with.
Do you
remember
shit. The last time that you tried this in Oklahoma? That's just. I mean, I lean Florida just because I feel like this number is so big that the books have to be more than comfortable putting this number out there. So, and Ole Miss hasn't really looked terrible. They're coming off of a Tennessee win that they looked fantastic in. Obviously, that game was at home in Oklahoma. So, I feel like this number is large for a reason. I would love to be quote unquote sharp and bet Ole Miss because they're one of the things I love about Ole Miss is that they're one of the most experienced teams in the country. So in these situations late in the season, that should give them a little bit of an advantage here. But I just really can't get there.
All righty, on to the next one. Duke UNC.
It is time. It is time, everybody.
Toast has been calling UNC moneyline in this game for about 2 weeks now.
Same way I did Arkansas. Yep. He's been all over this.
Yep. So, again, is Duke the best team or second best team in the country? Whatever. Yes. I just think this is more about how North Carolina is playing more than anything. North Carolina has been a secret moneymaker for me the last 3 weeks, and it's a train that I just cannot get off of here today. I've been talking, like they just said, I've been talking about this for 2 weeks. This isn't, again, there's no schematic edge for UNC. I'm not going to come in here and say that their drop coverage is really good and they play well against the zone and they get in transition. This is just me thinking that this is a rivalry game of all rivalry games. We've seen Cooper Flagg falter in big spots before. This is going to be another big spot. This game was also 13.5 the first time these two teams played, and it was a 17-point game. And if you remember in that game, it was a 17-point game, and Cooper Flagg probably had 50 points, probably had a triple-double the first 10 minutes of that game. Knipple had 9 points with 9 threes they couldn't miss, and they still only won that game by 17. So I just have a hard time believing they replicate what we saw in Durham. Again, in this one, I honestly believe that North Carolina wins this basketball game and cements themselves into the tournament. Not only are they going to be in the tournament, they're going to be like a 12 seed, and everybody's going to be even more pissed off.
Toast, before you place that, before tip off, you still have time to cash out. I know you're in Hawaii on vacation, but I want you to take 5 minutes, go to YouTube, type in Duke, North Carolina highlights about a month ago. I
literally just went over that.
Yeah, no, but I think you should watch it because I don't think you're really grasping what happened. This is an NBA team against an Atlantic 10 team. 9.5 is a joke. Duke, right, Trevor?
No, this is North Carolina. Hit the money line too, dude. What Duke's been laying? 20-some point spreads. They beat UNC by 17. They were up 30.
Oh, I got that for you, Trevor. Hold on really quickly. 21.5, 22.5, 24.5, 14.5, and 9.
Because you want to know why? Because all you freaks are betting North Carolina. That's why. We're polling at 50-50. We're polling at 50-50.
Yeah, because they're sharps.
People are freaks.
Sounds like a bunch of ball knowers.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
More like Cooper Crap.
Thank you, Beaver.
Someone said it all Toast. Someone said it all capital letters. Cut the crap, Toast.
Yeah, this is North Carolina. They've been playing really good. They've been putting up 90 plus basically since February 15th. They lost at Clemson. Guess who also lost at Clemson? That was Duke here. Duke absolutely embarrassed them on national TV in the first game. Just bent them over and embarrassed them on national TV. This is a revenge spot. I got UNC's my tied for my biggest bet of the day. I put the points and then I sprinkled on the 4-1 money line. This is similar. I know they're at home, but this is kind of similar to that Arkansas Kentucky spot earlier too. Must have game, revenge, national TV. Yeah.
We're going to be laughing at this pick 6 minutes into the game.
No shot.
That's there's no way. Keep it okay. And just for the record, keep in mind, because me and you watched that game together. 6 minutes into that game, we knew that North Carolina was dead. The line for that game was 14. They won by 17. So with all of that, they only covered by 3. So
still would have been about double this line.
I have a hard time believing we're going to be sweating this one out.
They can replicate that, and they will.
I know. I'm sure they could. I'm just saying.
This is going to be the most hostile environment they've been in all year. You could argue Clemson too. Clemson also beat their ass. So let's go heels up.
Looks like we got 3 more games queued up, and then we'll do some rapid fire picks, and we're pretty much right on schedule.
Next game up, Oklahoma, Texas. Sauce is right. Just can't lay. You can't lay this number with Texas, even regardless of how bad Oklahoma is. You can't lay 5.5 with Texas. So you can put Oklahoma up for me. I will not be betting this. I hate to shy away from my Longhorns. They've been so good to me, but they are coming off a road win against Mississippi State in overtime, and now they got to come play home and lay 5.5 points against the Oklahoma team that, actually looked pretty damn decent against Missouri. That game was at home, but they scored 96 points. So maybe an under here, if anything. I just don't want anything to do with this one.
Trevor, you know what to do, right? It's Rodney Terry with a minus.
Yeah, I like Oklahoma here. Last 4 games, they won 2. They lost by 1 against Kentucky, and then they lost by 3 at Ole Miss. Texas has Trey Johnson. That's about it. So Trey Johnson will go for 25-30, and they'll still either lose this game or win by like 2 or 3. So let's go Oklahoma. Sooner up, Boomer sooner.
Also, thank you for saying that. I wanted to touch on that. The Oklahoma looks kind of bad if you look at their win-loss record, their last few games. But I had Kentucky money line in that game. I know Trevor had Oklahoma plus the points. Kentucky should have lost that game. Oklahoma should have won that game. So I think that Oklahoma's playing a little bit better than people are giving them credit for. Again, they're still dog shit, but they are playing a little bit better than they give them credit for. So. Next game up. UCLA, USC. Trevor, are you going to lay points with this USC team or UCLA team?
Dog walk of the day.
I want to bet USC so bad, but this number is baity as hell. It feels so baity. I'll pick USC. I'm not going to bet it. The USC is either live to win this game or they lose by 20. There's really no in between here.
USC
they got nothing interior wise to deal with Bilodeau and Mara. But USC's guard's better.
USC might not score 50 points in this game.
That's a very good possibility. They either score like 75 and win, or like you said, they score 50 and they just get housed.
Yeah, I would say under or somehow to get UCLA. I just don't trust this USC team at all. And I do think that if UCLA is engaged, which they should be, it's going to be really hard for USC to score. So also these two teams played earlier in the year in the Galen Center where USC usually beats them. And I think it was like a 15-point game, or I guess it was only 8, or whatever. So it wasn't as bad as it was, but UCLA at home has been very, very good lately. It's on the road that they've really struggled. Besides that Minnesota game, I think they've won like 7 or 8 of their last home games and covered. So I don't really worry about UCLA at home. It would be UCLA for me, but I like the under a little bit better.
Is everyone playing for Baylor?
Oshanawa or whatever there isn't, but he also didn't play in the last
game.
No,
he hasn't played in a minute.
Yeah, I know. He didn't play against the last game at Houston either, where they lost by 11.
It just sucks him being out. Obviously, I don't think he's the most important part of the team. He's a defensive piece. But with him being out, number 15 needs to play some serious minutes. I can't stand number 15, dude. But I want to bet Baylor here.
I already bet Baylor. Did you bet Baylor? Trevor?
Yeah, I got 4.5. I like Baylor. Muted. I'm not muted.
All right. Go ahead. You can go.
Can you hear me?
I know. That's my fault.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're good. That's
yeah,
my
I can
fault.
hear you.
Okay. All right, yeah, I like Baylor 4.5 here. They played to an 11-point loss at Houston earlier. I know Baylor kind of snuck out at TCU with a win. They should have covered. But Houston's got no reason to play. They got nothing, no big deal. They just beat Kansas. They beat Texas Tech, Cincinnati, Iowa State. Like they've kind of had like a gauntlet stretch here. Baylor, I think they're probably in the tournament, maybe. I haven't looked, but this would be a huge win for them. And the fact that they played to 11 on the road, now they're at home. Night game, everyone's going to be hammered. This is going to be a loud-ass environment. Foster Pavilion's going to show up. I like Baylor. I think they're live to win the game. I just question Houston's motivation for this game. I know Kelvin Sampson's not going to let them sleepwalk it, but they have no reason to get up and smash this team. This is a highly motivated Baylor team who really needs a good win here. So I think the 4.5, I think they're live. It opened 7.5 too, so ended up getting like the worst of the number. But
I think those sevens were only available for like 40 minutes. Like I think it moved very, very quickly. Because I don't know anybody with Baylor +6. You know what I mean? It's somebody has 7 or 4.5.
Well, if it opened at 6, somebody got it.
I get that. I'm just saying, like, I don't feel like it was up for very long. I think it moved.
I think a group or somebody just absolutely nuked it. And
I think so too. Because I was watching that. I was sitting by literally watching it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But I like Baylor too. Sorry to cut you off, Sauce. Just really quickly, this line with the first two times that these two played was 10, and now we're getting 4.5, and the total is lower than it was the last time. So I just think that we see a slow, grinded out game. Sooner or later, Baylor's going to look good. I still have faith in this team. I trust Scott Drew coach teams. So yeah, I took Baylor +4.5. I also took them on the money line as well.
All right.
Go ahead.
No, I wasn't going to say anything. I was just going to say we've got 8 minutes till tip off. You guys want to do some rapid fire picks on some of the mid majors and some of the smaller games?
Yep, I'm good with that.
All right. Actually, I didn't know which conference tournament games to pick, so I figured you guys just shout them out, the ones you like.
Well, I guess I got to look and see where the numbers are, because some of them, like I played under 138 in Belmont and Drake. It's 131 now. I mean, like,
shit.
Some of these are like just completely. Oh, I did just play UMass Lowell versus Maine. I really like them today. They've been playing really well. It seems to be kind of a trendy pick right now, but Maine did win both of the games earlier in the season, and now we're getting a little bit of revenge with the Hawks. So I do like UMass Lowell.
Trevor, any of the mid-major games strike your fancy?
Yeah, the ones that I'm on, I took Canisius under 59.5 against St. Peter's. That game's going to have like 60, 62 total possessions. Canisius can only hit from 3, and their offense has really started to fall. They had a stretch where they were scoring like 80, 70-some points a game. Now they're just back to earth being shitty. I took Brown +6.5. I think they're live to win versus Yale. Yale has no reason to play. Brown needs to win and get a Princeton loss. Brown and Princeton both play at the same time window, so Brown isn't able to check that, know what they have to do. I think Brown's highly motivated today. LaSalle +11. Fran Dunphy's last game, St. Joe's, been really hot lately, but I think with an in-state rival here, I think LaSalle gets up for Dunphy and gets that one. I took Liberty -3 against Western Kentucky.
Ooh.
And
I played the Tommies -7.5 or whatever. Okay. That's I love me some Tommies. Sharon cashed out for his last game too.
Did you guys notice DePaul is laying?
Yeah.
What a world we live in.
They were a dog. They flipped Lake Georgetown.
I also played Harvard, since he was talking about the Ivy League. I did play Harvard against Dartmouth.
Okay, real quick. Just want to see if there's any of the big championship. There's only one conference championship game today.
SIUE and
yeah. Oh, I don't know anything about those teams. What about the High Point Radford game?
I liked High Point. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that number got moved.
6.5, but now it's up to 10. You just wait for something live.
What about Delaware Campbell? Anything there?
The fighting camels.
I like Delaware.
See, and yeah, that one's kind of a hard one for me. These two teams split, or I'm sorry, they Campbell beat them by like 5, but each of them scored like 90 points in that game or whatever. And now this total's at 145. I just didn't really know what to think of that one.
Found one.
Campbell's got injuries too.
UNC Asheville, wrong team's favorite here. Asheville money line. Winthrop sucks.
Could not agree more. Can't fade Cashville.
Just haven't. It's not a bet on Cashville. It's a fade of Winthrop.
That's cool too. But Cashville's been
nice.
yeah.
No, Trevor just
played
don't.
They've played well.
They're a bad team. Yeah.
I've got 3 other ones. I played Long Beach plus 3.5 against Cal Poly. Cal Poly off of 2 slaughters at home. Now they're going to hit the road. Long Beach been playing all right. I'll take the 3.5. I laid points with Samford. They lost to Furman outright. They're coming off a loss. Furman's won like 4 games in a row or something. Now catching points. I laid it with Samford. And then I took Riverside over 82.5 team total against Fullerton. Fullerton couldn't guard a paint can. So I will take Riverside to score some points here.
If you guys want a late night dog, Loyola Marymount plus 3.5, plus 40 on the money line. Washington State laying points on a neutral. Are you kidding me?
That
Get
is
out.
crazy. I'll bet that. I'll bet that with you.
Yep.
You know, as far as NBA, we were going to do NBA. I only have one bet, and the line just moved against. Well, kind of moved against me. I have Golden State. It's a good for those of you looking to bet the NBA. I have the Warriors at home against the Pistons. I know Detroit's been playing well. You could definitely question their schedule as of late, but I'm really not trying to poke holes in what the Pistons have done. It's more the spot. Detroit's on the first leg of a back-to-back, so they have another game tomorrow. Golden State's been red hot, and this Pistons hot streak, all fast breaks. They've been just running up and down the court, running the fast break, playing a team that's top 5 in transition defense. So on top of it being a good spot for Golden State, it's also a good matchup for Golden State. Without even incorporating the spot in the matchup, I had this one at 8. So at 6.5, I thought it was a good bet. It has moved down to 6, but I mean, my last 3 top bets, the market has moved against me in all 3, and I'm 2 in one of those bets. So not really worried about it. I like Golden State to win by 10 to 15. So I played the Warriors.
College game day, I'll just clean swept Missouri pick over Kentucky. So now we're fucked.
AJ, did you have 2 props you wanted to show? You don't have to do the whole breakdown.
My Damian Lillard one moved 4 points because Giannis got moved from probable to questionable, so that's fucked up. Miles Bridges, I laddered his assist. I personally don't think that LaMelo Ball is going to play today. He hasn't played a back-to-back since November 16th of this year. You take him out of the lineup. Miles Bridges, extremely profitable in terms of the assist market. Nets allow an ungodly amount of assists to the forward position, and their defense has fallen off a cliff as of late. So I really like that. If you want to, I took a big risk there because if LaMelo does decide to play today, that's going to be a bad bet. But I don't think he's going to go today. I'm expecting a random LaMelo's inactive, so I laddered Miles Bridges' assist. And then also, I'm waiting for the news, but if Drew Holiday goes today, I will be taking a Peyton Pritchard under. Peyton Pritchard's been bowling out lately. He's been going nuclear, but when the full starting 5 is on the floor, an insanely profitable under bet. So just waiting to see what the lineup is for Boston today. They always say that everybody brings their full starting 5 against the Lakers. Let's go ahead and see it.
Cool. Everyone enjoy your Saturday. The Sauce Network app is live. Oh, Trev, go ahead.
Yeah, I got one more. UNC and FSU are my biggest plays today. FSU outright, I love them today.
Hold on.
Leonard Hamilton's last home game. Leonard Hamilton's last game. He's got 199 wins also. There's a ceremony, everything for him.
Oh, my God, I'm in.
Former players are back. Yeah, Florida State.
SMU. They suck.
Yes,
no, I'm taking.
I also
I'll
haven't
bet
won a
that.
Saturday game in a minute.
So I'll sprinkle the money line plus 140 on
I'm
Seton.
taking that. I also like Trevor's Brown pick. I wrote that one down as well. I'm going to bet Brown.
All right, Trevor, if you bet Harvard, I'll bet Brown. How's that?
All right.
I avoided that game. I looked at the Princeton and Brown game because those were the only ones that actually mattered for the Ivy. I would fade Princeton too.
Really good
I don't like that team.
Yeah.
All right, games are tipping off. Sauce Network app is live. I'll put up a video on how to use it probably on Monday. But everyone, let's have a good day. Hit me up in the Discord. I'll be here working all day if you need me.